The market is bouncing back a little bit, but we cannot trust the price action just yet in this market, especially over the weekend. But for the most part, the market is looking pretty good. Now, Hadera is in a completely different lane. We are starting to see some very big updates that I am going to be talking about in this video, and also giving guys a quick update around HBAR, especially even around price action. And we have a lot to talk about, so I don't want to waste any more time. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those who are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. If we take a quick look at the overall market, yes, things are bouncing back. It's nothing too crazy though. You know, when we look at positive price action, for example, if we go to the 24-hour span, there's a lot of great, moves happening here. But the big problem that I see is a lot of these moves that we are watching in this space are actually not positive moves yet. And what do I mean by that? Well, if we click on any of these projects, a lot of them are just bouncing back a little bit off of the lows. I want to interrupt the video real quick to let you guys know that I have officially partnered up with Bybit, the third largest crypto exchange out there, to offer you guys exclusive rewards and benefits when signing up with my link down in the description below. There's over $30,000 plus worth of welcome rewards that could be yours right now. All you have to do is sign up, trade, and utilize the exchange. This is one of the best exchanges out there, 24/7 support. Massive amounts of trading volume in a 24-hour period. They have access to pretty much any market that you can think of around crypto. So what are you guys waiting for? Go and sign up utilizing my link down in the description below and have a good time trading. There's no positive price action because there's no new highs being created, especially even when it comes to Bitcoin. And Hedera is also a perfect example of this. For example, this is the 1-year chart. This is the all-time chart. Now, I have this going all the way back to the bottom of the bear market of 2022 into 2023. And if you look at the current price action, guys, we're just a little bit higher than the bear market lows. Now, you might be saying, oh, this is an HBAR problem. Honestly, this is a big problem among all of the altcoin market. Most altcoins have not, really gained much at all off of the lows of the bear market. There's some newer projects that did launch, around like roughly the middle to the end of 2023 that have done very good. But you got to remember, they have not been around, a significant amount of time, like for example, HBAR has. But a lot of the altcoin market is in the same exact boat. I mean, if we click any of these projects, they're in the same exact boat. Like for example, here's Atom, right? Cosmos. Look at the all-time chart here. Back to essentially bear market lows. This one is actually all the way back to essentially 2020 lows. So that's how bad altcoin sentiment is. That's how bad the altcoin market really is here. And it is because of Bitcoin. Now, talking more so about Bitcoin, I'm watching to see if we could break over roughly 64K, get a nice close over that to really kind of solidify this being the bottom on this recent move, and we could finally see some positive price action. But we're still not out of the water yet, and we're still in the weekend. Weekend price action is always hard to trust. So I'm waiting for Monday's open to really kind of address a lot of the price action in this market. But HBAR, I personally believe this is the path that we are on when it comes to Hadera. This is a path that I outlined in the Discord going all the way back to roughly the end of August. And since then, I mean, it has been pretty accurate. I mean, we came back down to, wipe out some liquidity. This is off of the roughly 4.5 cent zone. This is the level, right? Came down, wicked all the way down to that liquidity zone. Since then, we bounced back up into this fair value gap, and then we rejected off of it. And now we're just kind of ranging here, which is what I'm expecting HBAR to actually do, is just kind of range, nothing happening really until we see a big impulsive move. And then from there, we really kind of retest roughly around like 7.5 cents. Reject a little bit back into this fair value gap. It's almost like a demand zone as well. And then from there, we finally break out, kind of, build a floor a little bit above 7.5 cents roughly. And then we finally get that big impulsive move back to those highs in April of this year, where we do really kind of look for the all-time high being broken from 2021 and going into price discovery. But it's going to take some time. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. And we still need to address the overall chart when we start to see big impulsive moves, because this path is just something that I foresee happening. It doesn't have to play accordingly to this, and ultimately trying to predict price action in a market like this, it's almost impossible. So we'll have to watch, wait and see, but there has been some great updates happening around the ecosystem. More so, the big thing that I'm focused on is actually the DeFi side. Sirio Finance, for an example, is a great project. They actually reached out and they want to work with me, not in, like a paid promotion sort of thing or anything like that, but they actually want to work with me to help grow their project. And I did put out a great thread on their project. I do think that this is going to be a very significant addition to the Hadera ecosystem, especially around the DeFi side of things. And this was the post. So I said Sirio Finance is a lending and borrowing protocol built on Hadera. Their goal is to leverage the UX through Hadera's high performance and improve risk management using AI. It's set to launch on mainnet in October. Keep reading to learn more. And here we have Sirio is built from scratch, but utilizes the typical over-collateralized lending pool architecture where you collateralize any listed asset and borrow any other as well. The team has worked hard on the risk framework. What makes Sirio unique is AI, a machine learning model that estimates the probability of liquidations by considering plus 30 features, fully permissionless. The decentralized approach is allowing Sirio to establish key partnerships such as with Filecoin. And yeah, if you guys didn't know, Filecoin and Sirio Finance partnered together, which was a big thing that really brought my attention to Sirio initially. But I'm very excited for a lot of these DeFi projects launching on Hadera because the DeFi side definitely needs some work. But Sirio's first investment round sold out in 4 minutes. However, it's still possible to invest in the project, and you guys can do that in their Discord. But if you hold HBAR, you definitely should be keeping a close eye on the DeFi side of things because a lot is happening. Also, Galaxy. Definitely focus on Galaxy as well. The ecosystem around Hadera has been very strong in the last 2 years. But also over here, some great events happening around RWA tokenization. This one was with RWA Unwind. We have RWA Unwind Singapore 2024 full session now available. And if we actually look at the names tied to this, some very strong players. I'm actually very excited to see a lot of great projects that I have been focused on really kind of coming together. We know Zonix has partnered with Ripple around RWA tokenization on the XRP ledger. Credify also working with the XRP ledger. Now it seems as though they're really kind of in conversations with a lot of the ecosystem around this space. But I'm very excited for a lot of these events because these events are bringing together key players in this space to solve the RWA problem, which is the trilemma: security, scalability, fragmentation, and the infrastructure around RWA tokenization is going to be so important, especially that security side, because if you have an institution that wants to bring, $10 billion on chain, you have to make sure that that is secure. So that's definitely a big step in all of this. And we know that recently Hadera did launch the Asset Tokenization Studio. It was only a matter of time until this was actually going to become a reality. This is with regulatory compliance. Also, you have security tied into this. There's already a ton of great players around Hadera that are already working in the tokenization space. One that I always mention is Toko with DLA Piper, one of the largest law firms in the world. Outside of Toko, you have Red Swan, you have some great players. So, I do think that the tokenization space within Hadera is also expanding rapidly. And more recently, Terminal 3 just announced their integration with the Hedera Asset Tokenization Studio. And if you guys don't know about Terminal 3, do a little bit of research. This is a very strong project. I love their website. As you scroll, it really kind of just opens up. It's a very, very strong website. But also, the background behind Terminal 3 is what I personally love. If you actually look at the investors behind this, guys, this is no joke. Look at their experience coming from very strong backgrounds, but look at their investors. Massive players have been throwing money into some of these Web3 infrastructure players, and this is one of them. And I love the fact that they have the integration with the tokenization platform, because I do think that this is going to open up a ton of opportunity for Hadera. Also, Terminal 3 definitely gets the opportunity to utilize, the next generation technology, because this is definitely something that I personally see being very, very big, especially even around tokenization. Guys, there's so much money out there that will be touched by tokenization. And also, another big announcement around the institutional side, Canary HBAR Trust. Institutional investors in the US can now acquire HBAR. We're excited to announce that Canary Funds, the digital asset-focused investment firm founded by Stephen McClurg, has launched the first dedicated HBAR investment vehicle in the United States. And if we actually look at this, he was the former co-founder and CIO of Valkyrie Funds, the issuers of the Valkyrie Bitcoin ETF. Canary was established to drive innovation and manage private strategies to meet institutional demand for sophisticated cryptocurrency investment solutions. Through the launch of the Canary HBAR Trust, Canary Capital's debut product, NERIAs, or institutional capital in the US, that was previously sidelined, despite recognizing the industry-leading scalability and performance of the Hadera network, can now acquire the HBAR token today. So what does all of this mean? It's simple. More accessibility for institutions to acquire HBAR and a potential path for a future ETF, HBAR-focused investment vehicles as investors seek new ways to access cryptocurrency. Now, this is great to see. Obviously, this is definitely going to start the speculation on if we are going to see an HBAR ETF or not. I do think that the ETFs, the number one thing to focus on with the ETF is that it's bringing in the Web 2 crowd that don't know how to utilize this technology. They don't know how to use an exchange. They don't want to get into it. They don't want to learn it. So they'll just rather invest through an ETF. So this is definitely going to be a gateway to a lot of investors, a lot more capital, a lot more liquidity around HBAR as well. So this is definitely a big one. Now, also on par with this, I do want to quote what a developer advocate at Hashgraph recently said on X. When the new stuff that is being worked on at Hashgraph is introduced to the market, the world will not be the same. Once it is realized, everyone in doubt will bow with fully bent knees. There is no better ledger. HBAR. Now, I'm very interested in this because if you guys don't know about Hashgraph, this was formerly Swirlds Labs. They're the ones behind Hedera. I'm actually very excited to see what they're going to push because they've been talking about this for quite some time. And it feels as though they are opening their arms to the institutional side of things. Not too sure if they have some partnerships in place, maybe some NDAs or anything like that. But there has been a big focus on the institutional side of things. Even with Hyro, right? Hyro was a big thing. The entire code base to LF Decentralized, which if you guys don't know, this is the Linux Foundation, their decentralized trust. This was a big one because of all the names tied back to the Linux Foundation, which if you guys don't know, it's all institutions. I mean, these are some of the biggest players out there. And the fact that Hedera did this, and with what we possibly are seeing around this, with even the asset tokenization studio, the stablecoin studio, all those things, it's a clear focus on institutions. Everyone's focused on institutions at this point, right? You go and look at Ripple, they're looking at institutional DeFi. You go and look at Casper. Casper has always been focused on institutions. Quant has been focused on institutions. It seems as though the entire utility side of things is institutions, even Bitcoin technically, right? With all of the ETF hype and, BlackRock jumping in, Fidelity jumping in, the big, banks jumping in, it does make sense for Hedera to really kind of go and say, all right, well, we want to make sure that we are bringing in these institutions as well. And even with, the recent, announcement with Canary Funds, it feels as though they're trying to open the door for the institutional side of things. So I think that this is exactly what we are possibly going to be seeing here around what they're trying to build and what they're going to be pushing. So I'm definitely going to keep a close eye out on this. And again, this is a developer advocate at Hashgraph. So they know what's happening here, right? They know what's going on behind the scenes. So I'm definitely going to keep a close eye out on, what Hashgraph is going to be doing, what they're going to be pushing. We don't know a time frame on this, so we could assume, it's probably going to be in 2025 maybe, but I do think that Hedera has now become one of the largest players in the space, even if people are saying like, oh, the price action this, price action that. Show me an altcoin in the last, I want to say 90 days that has recently broken its recent high. It's trading over the March highs. That's doing very, very good. I mean, and we're talking about a project that's been around since 2021. And you could say, yeah, Solana, right? But again, the problem with Solana is that it's still not over its March high. Solana has been doing good. It still hasn't even broken its all-time high, though. There's a few projects, and there's actually one that I have outlined in the Discord, which is Mantra, right? Mantra has been killing it. This is the 1 year. This is the all-time chart. This one has been around since 2021. It's been doing very good. But this is one of those outliers. most of the altcoin market, and I'm sure that a lot of you will agree with me, most of the altcoin market has been very, very rough to be in. You know, if you look at the all-time chart for a lot of these in the last 30 days, yeah, a lot of meme coins that are just recently, announced are pretty much the only ones gaining any value in the space. Outside of that, most of the altcoin market has been bleeding. So we're still waiting on Bitcoin to do its thing. We're still waiting on the March highs to be broken. And until then, most of the altcoin market will probably be sitting on the backside, waiting for any positive change when it comes to Bitcoin. But I do think that with everything that we are seeing around Hedera, everything that we are, really kind of focused on, more so the expansion side, the growth side, I think all of this hard work that is being put in by Hadera, by the HBAR Foundation, is all going to pay off greatly once we see the market bounce back. So, don't lose track of the focus here, right? Which is focus on the target. The target is this project actually still building? Are they still making moves? It's not just about price. Price is a distraction away from all of the growth happening. In the last, I want to say 2-3 years, I have watched Hadera go from a ghost town to becoming one of the most populated chains in the space. And that is something that I put a lot of value behind. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys would definitely leave a like, subscribe, set notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.